Alright friends, I'm the Spa Guy. We've got a problem with this tub. This tub is a Dynasty, a garden leisure version of a Dynasty, and it's got a leak somewhere up under the bottom of the footwell. So we're going to do a couple of different things to see what is going on. I have this on what we call a test stand, and what it is if water leaks out of the tub, it leaks back into my tank, and I can just shuttle the water back in. So I've let the water out and let it settle and leak down to a point where it stops. So we're going to look inside. Stay tuned. So if you notice under here, it's pretty dry. There's a drip every now and again. I do have a little water leaking here, but there's a drip, but nothing much from the center, just ever so slightly. So we're going to go up top and try to see if we can pinpoint it. You can see it stopped. It's actually below the master blaster. I pulled the blaster out. I pulled these two jets out, and I pulled the suction covers off. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some water into the blaster hole. Because if this thing sat still during the winter, it could have theoretically frozen some plumbing down at the bottom. So I'm going to pour some water in here. I'm going to listen to see if it leaks out. So let's go down and look. Yes, that water was not there a while ago. So it's definitely something to do with the blaster. You can actually hear it dripping. So we're going to flip it up, pull the bottom off, and dig in. Stay tuned. So as we talked about earlier, I suspect that it's something in the bottom of this. When I poured water in this, I've got the tub flipped up now, but when I poured water in this, the water went out. The water stayed in all of the rest of the areas. So we're going to start digging in on the back side into here and see what we can find. Stay tuned, friends. So I wanted you to see, this thing has an ABS bottom on it. And I did not cut this like this. I wouldn't do it like this. When we got this tub, this is something that we went out and picked up because it had freeze damage, and I'm going to repair it. But the way I would have done this is, this thing has staples in it around the edges. I'd have pulled the side panels off and simply undid the sides and just flipped it down or flipped it up on the other side so I could dig in. Where we're going to dig is right here. So I'm actually going to pull this up, put screws in it to get it out of the way, and I'm going to start my cutting and digging right there. We're going to find that leak and the freeze damage, and we're going to fix it. All right, so I know that that jet is in this area, and where I saw water coming out was somewhere right over in here, and it looks like a big hose. That looks like the 1.5-inch hose. So some of my tools I use is a sheetrock saw, a regular saw, just a regular wood saw. I'll use a nail puller and a flat screwdriver. So we're going to start digging in. First I'm going to see if this is my 1.5-inch hose, and I suspect it is, that's going into the bottom of this jet. Actually, it doesn't feel like there's anything there much. But you could cut, the beauty of this is you can cut big sections. Just go easy, try not to cut anything in two. If you bump into something, just stop cutting and move around it, but you can pop big sections off. See, there's water dripping out when I cut that open. So we're definitely close to wherever this leak is at. Don't cut things in two, just go easy. Let's see, you can take, once you cut something like that, let's see how deep I am here. You can pull large sections out at one time. And this is exploratory. We really don't know what we're going to find or what we're looking for exactly. But that's why you dig a little bit here and you dig a little bit there. But you do have to create a hypothesis. You make an educated guess. And there. So, okay, there's the back of my jet. So I'm gonna cut. Looks like the hose is over to the right. So this is going to be air on my left and water on the right. is right there, friends. There's a big old crack right there in the pipe. Yeah, this pipe right here you can see is busted. That piece of 2-inch going into the master blaster. So I'm going to dig all this out and get it prepped, and I'll let you know there's different ways that you can repair this. I may have to replace the whole jet body, or I may be able to cut this off, heat this, and peel it out. Actually pull it out and reuse this part. We'll just have to dig in and see. Stay tuned, friends. Alright, so I dug it out pretty good. I can get behind it and dig the rest of that out after I cut it. So what I'm going to do is come back about 2 inches from this edge right here, and it's cracked pretty good up under there. And I'm gonna whack this hose off. And if you don't have this kind of a cutter, that's okay. You can use a saw or whatever, but this kind of pinch cutter is a little easier to use, especially in a tight place. If you were using a saw, you're gonna run into other stuff, and you also have the potential to cut other things in too. And that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to damage other stuff while you're repairing this. And it's easy to do. You can cut through another hose somewhere back up in there. And I'm looking at my damage, and you can see that it's busted open pretty good, but it looks like it stops right along in here. So I'm going to go back a little further and cut it back up in here. And then of course inspect it, because you don't want to miss the spot. Alright, so there is the culprit right there. You can see that it's busted open pretty good. So I'm looking here, that looks good. Now our next issue is, I'm going to inspect there. The problem is I really can't inspect any of this other stuff other than visually. But usually the backs of jets and stuff don't bust. Now the next thing is how to get this out of here. So I'm going to start prepping that. May or may not be successful. If I'm successful, great. If I'm not successful, then I'm going to have to replace the whole body, which is going to be a lot of digging. But that's all right. We're going to make it happen. So just stay with us, friends. It looks like the back of the jet is okay. There's no cracks. It doesn't appear to be any cracks in here. So I'm going to get her prepped and see what I can do about doing a peel out. Stay tuned, friends. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do so I don't bust this out, you have to be real careful or you'll actually bust this part of it, is I'm going to put a clamp around it. And this clamp is way oversized, of course, but it's one that I use for all the different sizes. I put it close to the edge and just snug it up, and what it does is it keeps me from busting the jet out. So the key to this thing is it's split. I don't know how far it's split up into here, maybe right to the edge, but it is split, so that does help. So what you can do sometimes is do like this and actually just twist on it. It's actually a struggle up that it's split like it is. It looks like the back of this jet right here maybe messed up. I'm going to take this part and twist it in. So I've got that twisted up in there. So now I'm going to grab the next piece and see if I can twist it. I'm going to move this clamp a little closer to the edge. Alright, so I've added another clamp to it so I can put a little more pressure on it. And I'm going to try squeezing, put some pressure on it like this. And this works on smaller fittings as well. You just have to go easy, not get in a hurry. But on the smaller fittings, I also have recos that you can do, which is where you glue a fitting on the outside. You glue a hose on the outside of the edge of the fitting, and then you put that stuff on the inside. I'm going to apply some heat to make it a little more pliable. You don't get it hot, you just warm it. I got it started there pretty good. Alright, so it took a little bit, but I popped it out. Do you see this right here? It finally came out. Now I'm going to clean this up. So I finally peeled it all out. It popped out. So if I ever pull this out, I'll always glue hard pipe back in, even though there was soft pipe here to begin with, because hard pipe seals a little bit better. I'm going to clean this up in here. I didn't damage it. It's not cracked or anything. It actually looks pretty good. So I'm going to clean all this up and get it prepared, and I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. I'm going to zoom in right now. All right, that's what it looks like inside where I was doing my peel out. And what I did was took a flat screwdriver and started to peel. Of course, what makes this a lot easier is it had a crack in it already. But if you don't have a crack in it, you're trying to do a peel out, what I do is try to cut from the inside with the knife. But I just stuck this in and kind of banged it and got it started. If you get enough started, you can actually just pop it out. And that's how I broke this glue joint, because it's in a twist, that glue joint will pop right loose. So it's not real bad. It's actually pretty smooth in there, so I'm going to clean it up and get ready to glue. All right, so next I'm going to prepare this thing. I'm going to take a little bit of sandpaper and go on the inside and try to clean this jewel up a little bit. Just try to knock the high spots down. And you got to be careful. It will cut you. The glue can get sharp where it falls off the edge of the pipe. So if you stick your finger up in here, you can actually get cut. And so be careful with that. Just going to rough it up. I'll take, and you remember my rule is spin it to win it. Anytime that you are gluing new to old, you use purple primer. You glue the part and then you put it in there and you turn it as hard as you can until it stops. If you do that, rarely, if ever, will you have a leak. If you don't spin it to win it, you will have a leak every single time. It'll drip. That's gluing new to old. Now this is hard pipe, so it's a little bit different than the soft pipe, but I'm not going to take a chance. I'm going to let this set for a minute, let it get tacky, let it harden. So now it's nice and tacky. So I am going to apply some glue in here and be liberal with it. I use Christie's Red Hot, the best in the world, and I don't go easy with the glue. I load it up. I want to make sure that this is a nice tight seal and I don't have any issues with this in the future. So I'm going to put it in and I'm going to put it in there and I'm going to spin it until it stops. And I'm going to leave this clamp on here. Alright kiddies, now I'm going to dig this out and I'll glue from here to here. I'm going to have to make some room in there, and there she be. So before you do your spin it to win it on your old pipe, I have to take it and clean it real good, scrape it with a knife to get all the foam off, just like this, make it nice and smooth. And I scrape every spot on all the way around. A little sandpaper. Rough it up. So now I'm going to spin it to win it. Purple prime, put my coupler on, and spin it till it stops. Load it up with glue. I don't go sparingly. I'll glue the crippity-doo out of it. And then, friends, you put it on there and you turn it till it stops. Spin it to win it. And it will actually get to a point where it stops, it locks up. Next, I'm going to glue the piece in between. It's going to be a struggle, but I'm going to do it. Alright, I'm going to try to tackle this, friends. And it ain't going to be easy, but we're going to make it that happen. So I'm going to do, let's see, what should I do? I think I'm going to do this side first. It's just too tight. Alright, so I've got it all put together. I'm going to flip it down and water test it before I put it all back together. We're going to make sure it works and it held. And we'll see. Sometimes when you're doing these glue joints, you know, when I'm gluing, especially new into old, and this thing I had to do a peel out, it may drip here. It could drip over here too, so we're just hoping that it's not. Stay tuned, friends. So I'm putting water back in, and we're going to see if we've got any water coming out down here. So as you can see, this did fix it, and there's the Master Blaster doing what it does. So friends, if you need parts like I used to fix this Master Blaster or any other part on hot tubs, if you'll click the banner above this video, go to my website and buy today. I don't know much, but I do know hot tubs. I'm the spot guy.